The SEC versus Ripple case could be over by next week. Well, at least that's what one cryptocurrency writer is now saying. And we're gonna get into that in this video, along with what the price of XRP could be if that actually happened. Also, Elon Musk fires back at Dave Portnoy on Twitter today regarding the news that came out just today that Tesla actually sold $271 million worth of Bitcoin. And if your boss offered you your salary entirely in Bitcoin, would you take it? Hey everybody, my name is Randy. Welcome back to the Late Night Grind. And right now on this YouTube channel, I'm covering this SEC versus Ripple case because it's very fascinating to me and it's huge for the crypto community. I'm also covering cryptocurrency news, investment markets, personal finance, and stimulus check updates. So if any of those topics interest you, go ahead and click the subscribe button. I'd really appreciate you joining the Late Night Grind community. And if you're feeling really generous, go ahead, click that thumbs up button. It really helps out with the YouTube algorithm. All right, guys, well, I like to keep these videos short and to the point, so let's get right into it. So comment down below and answer me that question. If your boss offered your entire salary to you in Bitcoin, would you actually take it? Well, that's actually what is happening right now in the NFL. There's a player in the NFL, his name is Sean Culkin. He's a tight end for the Kansas City Chiefs. He became the first player to elect to take his entire salary, which is $920,000 per year, completely entirely in Bitcoin. He's the first NFL player to take his entire salary completely in Bitcoin, although he's not the first to take Bitcoin as payment. Last year, an offensive tackle for the Seahawks, Russell Okung, elected to take half of his salary as Bitcoin. Now here's the thing, he has a $13 million per year contract right now. So he actually took $6.5 million of his salary completely in Bitcoin. Well, here's the thing. He was paid that Bitcoin back in December of 2020 when it was worth $27,000 per Bitcoin. So that was a pretty good investment by him because in just a matter of a few months, he's now more than doubled his salary from the Bitcoin portion. So let me know in the comment section down below if somebody offered you your entire year's worth of salary in Bitcoin, would you take it? In another Bitcoin news, Elon Musk actually fired back at Dave Portnoy on Twitter. Dave Portnoy of Barstool Sports, he actually just went ahead and said he purchased one whole Bitcoin. Keep in mind, this man is worth hundreds of millions of dollars. Purchased one whole Bitcoin and then shot Elon Musk a message on Twitter saying, "Oh, I see you just pumped Bitcoin by saying you bought $1.5 million worth of Bitcoin and then you went ahead and dumped it." Elon Musk fired back and said, "No, you don't understand any of it. Tesla sold Bitcoin, I didn't. In fact, we only sold 10% of it in order just to prove the liquidity of Bitcoin," which is kind of interesting because the liquidity of Bitcoin's already been proven time and time again. Maybe he took that money and just bought Doge. But Tesla still has a significant holding in Bitcoin, but it is interesting, but that certainly is interesting of note, and I've seen it in articles and YouTube videos all over the place today. But speaking of Elon Musk, I made a video, my previous video, which I will link up above, you can check that out after you're done watching this one. I basically talked about how he's had run-ins with the SEC himself. And in fact, the case of Ripple against the SEC, it's kind of shaping up like the case that the SEC brought against Elon Musk. It was basically about marketing and pumping up a security illegally, yada yada. Like I said, go ahead and watch that video. I have more information on that and exactly what happened. But right now, things are really heating up in terms of this case. It seems like there's news every day. There's motions to do this and motions to do that. And basically what is coming to a head, it seems like from all the legal analysis that I try to digest, is that the SEC is kind of grasping for straws. Them going overseas to look for information from other regulators. It was kind of a last-ditch effort to try to prove that Ripple was using outside sources to try to pump up the price of XRP before they sold it, which from a lot of these legal analysis, they say it kind of reeks of desperation. In fact, they say that the whole case should have never been brought because what they did was claim that Ripple sold a security without actually defining how digital assets fit into the securities. And so this was sort of the reason that Greg Gensler was brought on board to head up the SEC. He's obviously very well versed in cryptocurrencies. He taught cryptocurrencies at MIT. So obviously he knows this, but at the same time, he's pretty much a lifetime regulator. So he was brought in to kind of wrap his arms around this digital space, figure out what kind of digital assets are out there, and create new regulations based around that. Because as of right now, they really don't fit into the old rules or the SEC's old rules of defining a security and the regulations that go along with it. So this particular opinion writer feels that because there was no real case against Ripple in the first place, and that the fact that they haven't come up with anything in the ways of actual evidence, it's going to be really tough for the SEC to really prove and win this case, especially when so far the judges that have been involved with it seemingly have been giving Ripple the benefit of the doubt and giving them little victories along the way. Now, coming up, we have a couple important dates. The 28th is a deadline where Ripple is supposed to be getting some documentation to the SEC that the SEC has requested. On the 30th, that's when we have another one, which is a discovery hearing. Basically, both sides come to the table and discuss everything that they're bringing to the table with witnesses and evidences and things like that, along with 4,000 of XRP's closest friends and family. It's really, really interesting that the judge granted access to 4,000 people to go ahead and listen in on this. It's just something to speculate about as to why she did that. So when we look at kind of all these pieces, the writer of this opinion piece on cryptopolitan.com, she basically makes the case that she thinks the judge is going to throw this case out in the next couple of days because of the misguided charges and the lack of any substantial evidence. I don't know that will actually happen in the next few days. Even if it was going to happen, these judges are going to want to give this the benefit of the doubt. They're not going to make these parties gather hundreds of pages worth of documentation and actually bring them to a discovery hearing only just to throw it out a couple days later. I highly doubt that's going to happen. This is going to go through, and in my opinion, it's going to get even more interesting after that discovery hearing on the 30th. So you're definitely going to want to stay tuned for that. Like I said, if you're new to this channel, please subscribe and you can follow along with all these new developments. I appreciate you watching this video, and don't forget to give me your comments down below. What do you think is going to happen? Do you think this case will be resolved within the next week or 2 weeks? Or is this going to be a 2-3 month situation, 6 months, maybe even a year? Let me know in the comments down below. Thanks for watching again, and I'll see you guys on the next video.